Hey, good morning everyone, and welcome to another episode of Mail Time. Just a few items here to show today. Got up this morning with about 1.5 inches of snow, which is, is rare in this part of North Carolina. We don't get a lot of snow, so I was kind of surprised to see it turn to rain. Everything's just about gone. Still a little cover here and there, but anyway, it's nice and warm here in the shop, so that's one good thing. Before I get started, several people asked throughout what cameras do I use on my videos, and as we can see, I have the Panasonic. That's the HMX-F80 that I use. But the main camera that we use is the Sony. It's an HD. It's the HDR-CX240, and it is a great little camera, and that's mostly what y'all see the videos on. Some shots is took with the Samsung, but the Sony gets the bulk of the videos. Now, both cameras do a pretty good job. As you've seen in my videos, a lot of people has commented on the video quality. The Sony has very, very sensitive audio settings, and I don't go into the cameras and play with the settings and change the macros and this and that. If I'm do a real close-up shot, I'll use the dyno light or the microscope or something. But both cameras do a pretty decent job. I'm happy with them. They're both getting old. I would like to upgrade to a better camera that has changeable lenses, microphone input jacks, because I know a lot of times when I'm tuning a receiver, and you got 1,000 hertz tone generating or whatever, the sound of that is just about overrides my voice, and that's the disadvantage of having a camera with no mic input jacks. But anyway, after the end of this video, we will be giving away another piece of equipment, and this will be a more modern piece of equipment, but we'll discuss that near the end of the video. So let's get on and see just what we have picked up here today. Now, this item comes all the way from the UK, and one of my viewers had mentioned that he saw this and let me know about it. So we'll get this out. Now, I usually don't do items that I've purchased on Mailtime video. Normally it's just items that are sent in. But with this, I thought I would go ahead and show you that they do exist. If you remember when we did the FL 101 video, we found out that the S meter was faulty. Well, look at what we have. We have a nice S meter to replace that broken S meter with, and looks real good. It's got a little scratch here on the front, but I can buff that out. And he also sent it with the original mounting frame, and the wire harness is still attached to it, and the mounting lugs, so that's good in case we need those original mounting lugs. We'll have them. But this came from a fellow in the UK that calls himself I think it's Hi-Fi single sideband, HFSSB for short, and he had this. I went ahead and purchased it from him. So we'll need to, you know, test it. See, the meter movement looks good, no problem. So yeah, about 40 US dollars, but it's well worth getting a an original meter to go back in that radio. Now this doesn't mean that I'm still not going to do what I said and go ahead and tear that meter apart that's in there and rewind the little coil. We are going to do that in a future video when I'm caught up on things. So thanks to that viewer that showed this, sent me the link, and thanks to Hi-Fi single sideband for getting it shipped on in here in good shape and no damage to it. Appreciate it very much. Our next item is from our good friend Dino, just north of us. And, put green tape on the names and the tracking number, just to keep the honest. And it's always a treat to receive stuff from Dino, because you never know just what he's going to send in. And we have a note, buddy, so you don't have to use a screwdriver anymore to crack open those meter covers. 73's Dino. And Dino has sent in an iFixit Jimmy, the all-around prying tool. This is pretty nice looking tool. High quality steel blade, ergonomic handle. And we can always use a Jimmy tool, can't we? That's pretty nice. That ought to slip right in those meter covers. And we also have a set of metal ones. Short little blade on the end. Well, those will really come in handy. Lots of uses for tools like this. Cracking open cell phones and plastic covers on electronic devices will come in real handy. Now this is something I don't have. We have a set of 4 bench cookies. Those will be nice. I've never used them. I think in one of my other videos I showed using Kim Wick soda spools as bench cookies. Now we don't have to do that no more. These are rubber pads on each side. Bench dog tools, the bench cookie. Very nice. So what type of milk do you prefer with your bench cookies? Plain or chocolate? Thanks, Dino. I really appreciate this. These will be some nice additions here to the shop to use. Will come in real handy, and used they will get. So thank you very much. I sure appreciate that. Now, next item is a kind of a show and tell review, and was sent in from our good friends over at Banggood.com. So I'll leave some links down below to Banggood. It's here at the Christmas time, and you know, if you want to get somebody that's in the electronic field some electronic gear, you know, Banggood is a pretty good place to go shop at, because you can get stuff pretty cheap over there. And you know, in no way am I being sponsored or anything from Banggood. It's just that they're nice enough to send me stuff, and I'll review it for them. They're also well acceptable to feedback. If you got a problem with something, they listen and understand what you're saying. So let's see what we got here. So what we have is the Field Tech, and this is the FY6800 DDS signal generator counter, and this goes from 0 to 60 megahertz. And I happen to wanted to start doing some teaching videos, and I think this would have been the a good piece of equipment to use to start with in teaching on some of these circuits that I want to start doing. But that's going to come in the future. Anyway, let's look and see what else they see with it. We have a Bnc to Bnc Jumper, 2 sets of probes, Bnc to alligator clips, a wire to go from the back to the computer. Did not send no software with this one, and a AC mains cord with a US standard plug on it. I'm not going to get into a lot of functionality of how this unit works. There's plenty of videos online that already shows that, and it's basically it says it's a DDS signal generator counter. It's a waveform generator. You can use this to generate a signal into a radio to look at it. Setting the amplitude is a little kind of, it wouldn't be what you want. You wouldn't be able to set it down to, a few microvolts, because you only got like 5 steps in the amplitude on this. But, just for doing other purpose things, it's pretty good. I've got AM modulated waveform showing up on the scope, and it's pretty stable, works real good, no problems there. I can switch over from the Rigol to the Tektronix, and pretty much the same thing, no problems at all. But anyway, it does standard 64 waveforms. You can connect it to a computer and use your PC to generate your custom arbitrary waveforms. But it does your basic sine waves, a square wave, CMOS, that's adjustable pulse, DC, triangle wave, ramp, reverse ramp, stair steps, reverse stair step, and on and on. So it does all your waveforms that you would need for a generator to do. And on the bottom you have a tilting bell, some rubber feet on it. On the back your AC mains with an off-on switch. You have your USB TTL out. You have your trig, and what you can do and sync out and sync in. And what you can actually do, you can stack multiples of these together, make one a master, and you can have up to many channels as you just about need. I think you can go up to about 8 of these all put together and synced in, which gives you lots of channels. There's 8, that'd be 16 channels that you can go up to. Alright, I got the screws out, so we'll go ahead and remove the top. We'll have a little peek inside, and one of the first things I look at whenever I buy or get anything like this is the AC mains. Now, one thing you will see, these are not heat shrink. There's no heat shrink whatsoever on it. There's also no fuse in the AC mains connector, although we do have a fuse sitting down here, so that is a good thing. So one thing we do need to do is heat shrink these terminals, just so you know you're inside this thing working on it, you don't accidentally come across those. Next thing is this little switch mode power supply. It's going to be very noisy, and depending on what you're working on, you're going to see that noise spill over onto whatever you have on the test. I recommend going in here and upgrading all these capacitors, and get these old cheap capacitors out of here and getting some good quality capacitors in. That'll help a whole lot with noise on your signal. You can see the main board here, and in this particular unit they're using the Atera Cyclone FPGA chip, which is very nice. There's like a couple of small ICs under here. I don't know if maybe just for channel 2, channel 1 under this big heat sink. And you know, it's pretty much it. The chip does most of the basic functions in this thing. But I know that one of the big issues that we had in the NIU FY3200 series arbitrary waveform generator was AC voltage on the front Bnc connectors. You know, you have to wonder, does this have the same issue? Well, let's find out. Okay, I have the mains plugged in. We'll turn it on. Version 7.1. I'll go to the ground of my AC supply. And there's 0 volts. Go ahead and check everything just to be sure. So it looks like in this model, Field-Tech has corrected any issue of having AC current on your front jack, so you don't have to worry about blowing your device under test all the pieces. So that was one good thing that they did. So I wanted to look at the waveform of the power supply, so we can get kind of an idea of just how noisy this thing is. And you can see right there that it's not looking that great. So it looks like the power supply is one of the downfalls in this unit. So, you know, that will have to be addressed. We'll need to get in here and replace these caps in another video, and see can't we get this cleaned up just a little bit, because it's not looking that good. So there you have it, put the unit back together, and sometime in the future, probably first of the year or so, we'll go ahead and tear this thing apart, go through it completely, do you know, fix those power wires that are just sticking out there for you to stick your fingers in, and we'll tear this power supply down and go through it and upgrade the capacitors on it, see if we can get that noise out of it. I think it'd be a great little unit. You know, I've read some good reviews on it, and like I say, this is the 60 megahertz version. This particular unit is running about $120 US on Banggood. So, you know, it's not bad. It's not really a bad price for a 60 megahertz unit. And this one has a lot more functionality to it than the other one that I showed about a year ago. Now, you know, I still do have my old standby leader function generator, which works flawless, but you know, there's no programmability to it, and we'll not be able to do some of the things that I want to do. But I think this will be a fine piece of equipment to use after we, you know, make a few little upgrades to it. So since I have this new 6800 model, what I'm going to do is go ahead and give away the NIU 3200S model to whoever leaves their comment down below. We just do a random drawing if you're interested in the 3200. Now you'll see on the back of this one, you know, we made a modification. We can either float the ground like it normally was when it came from the supplier, or we can switch it over and ground all the output jacks, and this makes it a whole lot safer. I recommend just keeping it in the ground mode and not trying to run it in the float mode. Some people want that, but you know, it's a lot safer to run it in the ground mode. So yeah, we'll give this away. So if you're interested in it, just leave your comments down below. I'll run this until Christmas, so just about rest of the month, and on the 24th we'll pick a winner. So whoever wants the 3200, and if you go back and look at my videos, you'll find a couple of videos on this one where we went back in and did the modifications and a few checkouts on it. I'll leave the links down below to those, and we'll do the same thing on this one. We'll tear it apart, go through it. Like I say, the only thing that I see in this one is power supply noise, and in some circuits that's going to affect the performance of the generator, so we'll need to address that. You know, so I wouldn't do a better review of this, but I just want to do just an overlook of it, and we'll get more into it in another video. So today I had a very good friend come down and see me for the first time, and he's up from Virginia, and that friend was Dino. Now, you know, Dino just also has mailed us those nice bench cookies and sponger tools, but he came and saw me today in person, and it was great, and we talked and reminisced about things, and then went out and had some dinner and come back. But he brought some stuff down today, and there's 2 boxes here that he brought, and they're full of vintage tubes, all kinds of tubes in here, as you can see. And I think this one's like 3 layers thick Just a bunch of nice old vintage tubes. And not only did he bring one box, he brought two. And again, this is several layers deep of vintage tubes. That's some type of RCA tube, a 1960. You can see just how vintage it can get at times. And then these old tubes, they got some kind of, I don't know, either a paint coating or ceramic coating on it. These are G-58-X tubes. No idea what they came out of. But, you know, we like vintage stuff here at the radio shop. And just plenty more tubes. Now I have boxes and boxes of tubes. So it's always good to see. Even some vintage tube shields. That's a ZB, no, it's a 7B8. Kind of hard to read, almost looks like this. I'll go over top of it. Yeah, so thanks Dino for these tubes, they'll come in handy. And it doesn't end there. Dino also dropped off a couple of Electro Voice. These are the Slim line, model 636 microphones. And you have your off on switch. That's where your cable hooks into the back. This one did not have a cable with it, but this one does. And these are some nice old vintage microphones. So the 636 is you know, it's an omnidirectional microphone. Frequency response is from 60 to 13,050 hertz. So they might make some good AM microphones. We'll have to give them a try and see. We'll give them a good polish and clean them up and go through them and see just how well they perform. Very nice old microphones. I love vintage mics like this. And also, Dino dropped off a set of Kenwood. This is the T599D and the R599D. And these are the Kenwood HF transceivers. They're called the Twins. And he also had the speaker with them. And you can see just how beautiful these radios are. I mean, they are almost in mint condition. Even the case on all of it is virtually scratch free and just look beautiful. And he also had a copy of the manuals, user manuals, service manuals for both the transmitter and the receiver. And something else that he dropped off with this was the original style remote cable connectors. You can get them out. Now Kenwood used a special type of connector for these Twins, and if I'm pronouncing it correctly, I think they are pronounced Hiroshi connectors, but they're 16 pin connectors, and this is the cable that ties in from the receiver to the transmitter. You can use them standalone, but by doing that your spotting doesn't work correctly, and you know, it doesn't mute your receiver without having these connectors. Now these things are rare as hen's teeth. They are very, very hard to find. I think there is a company now in Japan that is making some clone versions of these. I don't know if they're still in business or not. Now, Dino did tell me that the transmitter, that there was a pop or something and the transmitter quit. And I think he started troubleshooting and decided to forward them on to someone else. So he brought them to me. Now, me and Dino's been trying to get together now for probably about a month or so. Maybe even longer. And today he finally took the 3-hour drive down and got to meet him and had a great time. He also had one of his friends, Kerry, with him. And we talked and just had a wonderful old time. But first of all, Dino, thank you. But thank you for the service to our country. Dino is a military man, so you know, we appreciate the service to the country. And thank you for bringing down these nice items. I've always wanted a set of Kenwood twins, and I had bid on a few, but can't never seem to snag them. And now I have not only a set of Kenwood twins, I have a beautiful set of Kenwood twins. So these are going, after they are repaired, we'll be doing a troubleshooting video and recapping these things and making sure everything is good. Now, again, capacitors in these things are probably great. They're probably better than most of the capacitors you can buy today. But we'll have to check them out and see. But we definitely got to find out what happened to the transmitter. And I think I need to find a period correct microphone for this. I'm not sure what the Kenwood twins was using in the day. Somewhere around mid-70s when these came out. So Dino, you know, it was a pleasure to meet you and your friend Kerry. It was an honor. It really was. And we appreciate the nice gifts. Talking about Christmas present, this is all I can say I would want for Christmas. It is a nice piece of equipment, just beautiful. So there you have it on this mail time video. Don't forget, if you're interested in the 3200S function generator, leave your comments down below. Let me know that you want this. You specifically need to tell me that you want it. I mean, just making a comment about the video, you know, just not actually entitle you to want it. So, you know, tell me if you want the generator or not, and we'll put you on the list. And with that, hear your comments down below. We're going to be getting into a lot more troubleshooting repair videos for long, because we have a lot of stuff in here now to work on. Plenty of stuff, and we're going to try to get back on some other projects from the past and get them working, and just going to, you know, take it one day at a time and have a good time. So again, leave your comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, let me know by giving me a thumbs up, and follow me on Patreon if you're interested. I do have some plans on Patreon, and I really appreciate my Patreon supporters also, because what those guys are doing is helping me to keep projects going. So that is, you know, a big thank you to you guys. But thanks to everybody that's following me here on the channel, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye now.